let's talk about this kind of topic of conversation we thought would be a good one to discuss with Michael.
The poll.
And we got to get back to the poll too.
I'm excited about the poll.
So here's the topic, right? It's who is the iiRcade for? And I want to kind of go around and get everybody to chime in on this. So Papa Brad, what do you think? Like, what's the target audience for the iiRcade? Who do you think it's for?
I think the iiRcade is for anyone that wants more options in their home arcade. I mean, I love it. I have machines from all the companies, and I just like having more options. And I love the way they have modern games and they have retro games. So for me, I mean, I think it's for anyone that wants to expand their choices in their home arcade. And I like the fact that with the iiRcade, you always have something to look forward to because there's always new games coming into it, because it is online connected and, we have a store and it's always, you can get fresh stuff. But I love it. I'm saying keep doing what you're doing. Get us some of those classics and do them legitimately. Like make them really good. Make them count. It's better to have really well emulated, perfect classic games than a ton of games. Just get the ones that you have and get them good.
And I'll chime in next. And I'm going to take the opposite approach and say who is the iiRcade maybe not for, and who maybe it might not be for is if you are coming into arcades, these are something you're interested in, the home arcade bit stuff, and you want to play Street Fighter 2. That's the game that you really want to play, then the iiRcade is probably not for you. You should probably just go get that one over there and play Street Fighter 2. Same is true for Pac-Man, or if it's a very specific game that you are wanting to get, unless that specific game is Double Dragon or Dragon's Lair, then get the iiRcade. So that's my 2 cents.
Killer of Men.
For me, the iiRcade, I like it because I can build it how I want it. I don't just got to take a whole bunch of stuff I don't want. I can pick and choose. You know what I mean? I can't do that with the other ones. It's either I get a certain amount of 2 or 3 or 4 games, and that's it. Or, I just put a whole bunch of stuff on something. But this one, they make sure every game works the right way, so I can get it how I want it, working the right way. I like the iiRcade. I just need some more games. I need some AAA titles.
I think that's where I'm at too. I'm with the CT Jason on this one. I like it because I can curate my game library, the games that I want. I don't have to sift through 1,000 games. I've got my 150 games on mine. So a smaller group, but they're ones that I picked that I actually liked. And if I didn't like it, I refunded it and made a tear come down Michael's face.
Can we highlight a couple friends in the chat? Had some really good comments.
What's the chat saying about
this? We had Kev Gret said, anyone who wants a premium arcade experience, we put him up, with the ability to add games. Rich Ordello said that iiRcade is not for the nostalgia-bound appearance folks. Although I would say, maybe a little bit, but the Dragon's Lair for me, even though it's not the shape of the original cabinet, it was definitely a nostalgia buy. Like when I saw that cabinet and I heard Dragon's Lair was coming, that was it. I was sold. I knew that I wanted to check it out. So I think a little bit that could be, depends on what y'all do in the future too. Because we don't know what's coming, but I'm sure more is coming down the road.
And as far as, the games that are on there, like I'm having a blast just diving into the library that exists because, let's be honest. We can all play a lot of these games in many different fashions and ways, but the community that the iiRcade has built, chasing these online leaderboards and then once the online comes, that's what's truly going to make it a unique experience. So much so that you're going to want to be a part of it, and the games that are on there are just going to shine through that online experience.
Well, what I think is great is it complements the other home arcades that I have really, really well, because there's a lot of people that want to try and make it like those. And it's like, why doesn't it have this? It's like, no, it's a complement to those.
I like that it's different,
Yeah. What do you think, Michael? What do you think? Who do you think the iiRcade is for?
So, of course, this is a question that
we like everybody
every day of my career here, basically, right? So, Yeah, it's fun. So it's good. You always get people asking for both sides of the fence, right? Some people get it for more modern games, right? Like shout out to Mad Dads. He always asks every time I watch the stream with him. He's like, "Hey, I want iiRcade to have more modern games." And then I have other people going the opposite way than him, right? I've got like Dave Haworth and stuff who's saying, "Hey, I only want retro arcade games," right? So we get both ends of the spectrum nonstop, right? And then there's people who want a bit of both, right? So you've also got to cover them. So we're in that weird category where it's who do you please, right? And it's kind of a little bit of everybody. So you got to pick and choose a little bit of what goes into it. But on top of that, the shape of the cabinet, the skins and stuff that we have too, of course, like Brad said too, sometimes it's a nostalgia buy, right? The Dragon's Lair, it's a nostalgia buy for some people, right? Others, it's not a nostalgia buy because they like Dragon's Lair a lot, but they want that replica arcade machine of Dragon's Lair, right? So that's their nostalgia buy. So it's always fun to hear everybody's feedback on things like that, right? So who is our machine meant for? Honestly, it's kind of everybody, which is what we go for. So we do include the games that we include, right? So like you could go buy a Dragon's Lair machine, right? You could go buy a $700 machine for just Dragon's Lair, right? But we've got it right here too. And then we also include Double Dragon, which is also another $700 machine you might buy on the other side, right? And then you might also buy, we've got some other bangers on there too. Beach Buggy is its own kind of monster, which is fun, which we love that Beach Buggy Racing took off. So that's fun. Like you might not buy an arcade necessarily for that, but like it's great to have on there because it's a new modern kind of fun racer.
And
I'd never heard of it before iiRcade.
Yeah.
And then
Most people hadn't, but it does great.
As a fan of real arcades, which I go and tour all the time, and that's a big part of my channel, as a fan of real legitimate arcades, one of the things I like about it is when you go to a real arcade, all the machines are different, They're different cab shapes, they're different styles. And I like that it's different than my other machines, Sure. And I think, that's really a benefit, not a negative, that it's different.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, we got the iiRcadians merch store. If you want to take a little piece of the show with you, you can get it right here. Enjoy.